This is absolutely Essendon. It's our round 3 review. Good news, the Bombers got up by 4 points against the Saints. What a match it was. I think we're all watching through fingers at the end, but there is a lot, I think, to digest from the game. But somehow the Bombers pulled a rabbit out of a hat. It was an Easter miracle. I'm going to keep running with the Pascal theme on the material. Yeah, isn't that sort of Easter? Easter?
Oh, I don't
Easter-y?
know. I thought it was Easter, just Easter. But anyway, well, happy Easter to all of our Christian friends out there.
Yes,
and
our fair-minded, hard-working,
excuse me.
unbiased community.
Yeah, well, look, they are, and they deserve their break, but for everybody else, tough luck, suck it up.
Right.
This is for us this time of year,
Yes.
and, I'm going to be incredibly disrespectful of everyone else's faith, but
Are you?
This is our
No,
time.
but that's what you do. But yes, there's a lot to...
Fantastic.
There's a lot that happened in that game.
It was.
Yeah.
there was.
Do you want to tee off?
Well, I think, firstly, can I just also add happy birthday to Smoking Joe.
Oh, jeez.
I believe your birthday. It's a bit of a coincidence that you were born the day after Jesus died. What's going on there?
What is the deal?
I've noticed a little halo appearing behind your head in the
Right.
form of a glowing light.
Oh,
exactly. Well, happy
all right,
birthday.
That'll do. All right,
you're looking great for 42.
Thank you very
and,
much. I don't think we really want to talk about
No,
birthdays on this,
people like to know about our social life.
Do
they?
they
do. It's like the Kardashians.
But here we are.
Here we are. So, back to the game.
Right.
And may I add, what a game. It was a
Yes.
fantastic game of football. I thought it was a pulsating game down at Marvel, and both teams fought it right out to the very, very end. And our boys did extraordinarily well in the end to get over the line. And it was a gutsy performance, I think, and a game around which I think this club might be reborn.
Oh,
In the spirit of the resurrection,
You're teeing off.
I think this might be the game that heralds the rebirth of the Essendon Football Club,
right.
because we won ugly, but we won, and it was against a team that has a great reputation for being a very solid unit, a very good defensive team. We broke them down, and we got over the line. When at early parts of the game, it looked like it wasn't going to be going our way at all. So, excellent effort.
Those people that in the past have maybe switched off this channel, say, "Oh, you guys are too negative." I was enjoying it at the start, but you guys are too. Just to balance the ledger, see, we have a win like that, snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
Oh, that will call us jumping on the bandwagon now. No, you can't win in this game. I'm telling you,
you can't.
You can't win.
Can
you do that voice once more?
You guys are. No, I'm just doing.
That's a generic.
Whenever my wife does.
That's your
me,
wife?
Whenever my wife does me,
that's how she does
it's always doofus.
But you don't sound
doofus voice.
you
I
don't
know
sound
it
anything
doesn't
like that.
matter.
So your wife, when she impersonates you in the
Yes.
middle of a domestic dispute,
It's that voice.
she puts.
Oh, jeez, I wonder where I left the shoes.
My God, I hope she's not watching this. You're in trouble if she is. You might want to just put this one on mute.
She doesn't watch his shit.
I tell you, she might.
If
If I don't see you next week, I know she has.
There's no chance.
Anyway,
there's no chance.
And may I just say, all the best to your beloved and beautiful wife, Mrs. J.
Mrs. Smoking Joe.
Mrs.
Yes.
Smoking?
Yes.
Anyway, back
Lovely
to the game.
lady. Yes.
We're going off track.
But my point. What was my point?
I have no idea. Have you ever had one?
Oh yeah, no. But that we're getting excited. Now, my point is,
Yes,
I don't know whether I'm getting excited as you.
I am.
However, I'm still incredibly grateful for the defeat. The victory. Sorry.
Thank you.
And
you are negative.
grateful that we hung right in there. Whereas in the past, perhaps we wouldn't have.
No.
But I do still think there was some luck involved. Okay.
I beg your pardon?
All
There was no luck.
Okay,
What are you talking about? Well, because they missed a few set shots.
Let's have a few set shots.
They missed a few set shots, but at the end of the game, I think it was a pretty similar number of scoring shots for both sides. So,
yes, it was.
So,
it was
okay,
in
fine.
the end. Yes, it was.
Yeah. So
but had they have converted, had they have converted, they would have been way more in front. Now you're saying, yeah, sure, they missed. We took advantage.
Bad football.
Sure, but if you continue to do that and play your games like that, how many are we going to win of those? Maybe half. Long term, it's not sustainable. That's my point.
Yeah, but isn't it? It's football. I mean, it's swings and roundabouts. Sometimes things go your way, sometimes they don't. But I will say this: that poor kicking is poor football, and they did have a chance early in the first half, in particular, to probably go out to a 4 or 5 goal lead. In fact,
Easily
I think they were
Easily.
at 22 points at one stage in the second quarter,
They
might have missed a couple of shots at goal that could have pushed that out to 5 goals plus.
Yeah.
Could the Bombers have come back? Well, I'll tell you what, if the umpires weren't out there, yes, we would have. But they decided to rape Jake Stringer at the end of the game and turn around a goal and paid a free kick to that guy who fell over like a house of cards.
Yeah.
And they then ran it down the other end and scored themselves. So
Yes.
a 12-point turnaround for nothing. So, luck goes both ways, right?
True.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sure.
I thought, let's take that element out of it. I just want to acknowledge that I felt that the team played with a level of dedication and commitment to the cause that, frankly, I haven't seen for a long time.
Yeah.
Because, and I think we'll all agree that there's been times in the past where, we just would have not made up that ground, would have folded. They came back, they turned the game around after having had St Kilda come out of the blocks. And that, I think, was the most impressive part of this.
Well, yeah, because they got the jump on us last year, and I thought,
well, right,
here
exactly.
we go. It's happening
Yeah.
again.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
let's not forget what happened in the practice match.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a practice match, easy, but nevertheless... They had their way with us only a few weeks ago. So we're all incredibly conscious of that. And so, yes, hats off to the Dons that did hang in there with a bit of grit.
At the edge, with a bit of edge.
So, as a fan, it was nice because you always felt like, hang on, I reckon we could snatch this. That feeling was there, I think, in the game.
Definitely. And towards the sort of end of the game, I think we owned the football in our forward half in that last quarter. And I guess the frustration was that we weren't scoring goals, but we certainly dominated possession and certainly dominated field possession in terms of being in the forward half. And, then, of course, a moment of Easter miracle when Jakey banged it through from 55 metres out. And, I mean, it was just like a straight as an arrow, unbelievable kick a goal, incredible pressure situation. And he just went back and calmly slotted it. So,
but can I just say, as a part of that miracle, you had, because the Saints had the ball, they were heading in the other way. Had McGrath not intercepted that in the centre of the ground, then switched to Caldwell, then getting it down to Stringer, then another one in the middle of it.
Absolutely,
Come on, had he not done that, we're sitting here talking about the brave.
I'm glad you mentioned Andrew McGrath, because I tell you what, he's been the whipping boy on Essendon forums, such as our favourite Bomber Blitz. And, look, I think if he's not in the running for an All-Australian jumper this year or All-Australian blazer, his first 3 games has been fantastic. He's probably leading the league in terms of metres gained, and his disposal has been much, much better this year. He's kicking with a lot more penetration.
Yeah.
And... I think it was McGrath in the first quarter that drilled across, passed across the field to hit Jake Stringer about 45 metres out directly in front, which I think might have been our first goal or second goal. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But it was an amazing kick. So McGrath he's moving forward. He's bringing the ball into the forward line. He was fantastic. I think he had over 600 metres gained for the whole match. I'm very excited.
He was
about
amazing.
that.
He was
good
amazing.
pick up on that.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Appreciate
That's
that.
all right,
Now,
anytime.
let's talk about Nick Martin, who is in hospital currently with leather poisoning.
Yeah, our blessings and thoughts are out. Boom,
boom. What a game he had.
Yeah.
Truckload of possessions.
Yes, he did.
And I thought it was interesting because did you watch the Ross Lyon? Because this goes to, I think, how effective he was or otherwise with those possessions.
Oh, okay.
But
what did Ross have to say?
Well, they asked him at the press conference and they said, did you? Yeah. Well, he sort of has that sort of.
Oh well, I don't know about
demeanour of
Nick
a sort of a.
He sounds a bit like you, actually. When
he sounds like my world weary Year 7 geography teacher. You guys know better than that.
Come on.
Come on.
Cut me a
That's just that's not on.
Ross,
it's
the loss.
Anyway, they asked him because he said halves asked me at half time should we clamp down Martin? Should we get on top of it? And I looked at it and basically he said he didn't feel like he was really having that much of an impact.
Right. Well, you know what it is, of course. no boss likes to be told how to suck eggs by one of their subordinates. And
You're a bit like that, aren't you?
Absolutely. He didn't like Harvey coming up and saying, hey, maybe you should think about doing this, and chucked a bit of a hissy fit and went, well, I don't think we need to.
Yeah.
Hey, you should have, Ross.
I think
because
perhaps
he
you
cut
should
your
have.
boys to ribbons, and so there was a few of those were kickouts. And by the way, I've heard a few people saying that stats from kickouts shouldn't be counted. I say
really?
bullshit to that.
Are they people betting on multis?
Have you ever tried kicking a football out from full back in an AFL match? It's not easy. It's not easy. There's a bit of pressure. If you stuff it up, the ball comes straight back over your head for a goal. Yeah. So I think you earn that stat taking the kick out. Just my thoughts.
Was that him that actually did stuff it up on one occasion?
I think he might have once, yes, occasionally. But there you go. Proves my point.
Nevertheless.
But I just want to say, look, you can have 44 possessions, and I've heard people say that's the worst 44 possession game I've ever seen. Yeah. Well, can I just say, out of those 44, 25 were absolutely fantastic. And if you have a 25 possession game where every kick counts, he's getting 3 Brownlow votes. So I don't care what people say. He was amazing. There's been a lot of criticism about shifting him onto the half-back flank. He's been nothing but impressive this year and will only get better. And I think even Scotty was saying after the game how impressed he was with Martin's defensive play. So good luck and well done, Nick, our favourite Macedonian. And we think...
Yeah.
We
don't know.
We don't know.
You've just imbued him with that.
No, he definitely has.
Has he?
Nikolai Martinovsky.
Right.
We salute you. Now, what else?
All right. Well,
can I just? You've brought. I would like to make a special mention too of one Harrison Indiana Jones.
Right.
And I have had a gut full of people telling me this kid can't play football.
Right.
He's had 2 years of the worst injury run that probably any AFL footballer's ever had.
Sure.
And he comes back. He has a pretty quiet game against the Hawks back in round one, and everyone's calling for his head, including the coach.
Right.
Sorry, go on. You're going to interrupt me?
Well, one of the comments that people would make was that he was made of glass. It may have been yourself. I'm just saying. But
I've always backed him, and I continue to back him. And nothing gave me more pleasure than seeing him floating across the front of the pack on.
He took some good marks. The kid
Saturday
took some good marks.
Banging through. He took 10 bloody good marks.
Chipped
by the
in
way.
in defence.
He was great. Must have run 20 k's for that match, up and down the ground. He was picking up the ball on the half-back line, and then 5 minutes later taking marks in the forward line.
Yeah,
we have to persist. He's on. I think his contract comes up at the end of this year.
Right.
He knows he's got to perform. If he can stay fit and gradually get better, he's only played 30-odd games of football.
Yeah.
Give him a chance. When he gets to 75 games, he's built out a little bit more. I tell you what, him and hopefully Nate Caddy could be the way forward. And Pete coming back, 2 metre Peter coming back. We've got some depth there, and I was a bit worried about our forward line, but having seen Harrison Jones playing on the weekend,
really,
I'm feeling a lot better.
Well, I want to come back to the style of play and all the no, you know what? Let's just go into it now, because one of the things as well why I'm perhaps not as excited by this victory as you are. When the Saints went forward, they looked potent every time. They were creating angles, creating space where there wasn't any, and that's in both styles of play, moving the ball quickly and moving it slowly. They seemed to have the time to sort of create some space. We would go forward. Yeah. Not impotent, but
well, I think I think you might have been watching a different game, frankly.
No,
I think look. Let me just say this.
No, listen.
When we played the Swans, we had no defensive structure whatsoever, and I think we all acknowledge that Sydney carved us up with their ball movement from their defensive 50 to their forward 50, and were marking the ball at ease. I think Sydney had 19 marks inside their forward 50. That changed significantly against the Saints, and we were much better at guarding the ground
and
slowing their
in the second half.
Yeah, sure.
There's a bit of recency bias.
So what we can't acknowledge the second half? Is that's suddenly off the table?
Acknowledge it
in
as
the
much
second
as
half.
the first half.
They got better. They adapted and they changed and they got better. And defensively, they were substantially better than they were against the Swans. That's certainly my view. It may not be yours, but hey, who's counting?
Right.
So I look, it's a work in progress. You're seeing improvement, in every aspect of the game from week to week to week. Their centre clearance work against the St Kilda team was a St Kilda team, by the way, that is very good at that.
Yeah.
was incredible.
I'll give you that.
And
They
I
were
think
very-
it was 23 clearances to 10 for the game.
Roughly?
I think it was exactly. So you can check that.
Right.
And I think Zach Merritt himself had 6 clearances in the second half. Or it might have even been in one quarter.
He was a beast
Yeah.
again. He was
So,
a beast.
you know, I mean, that part of... We are now ranked number 1 in clearance differential and scoring off clearances in the competition. So if you talk about our stoppage work, it's probably as good as anybody in the league. In fact, statistically it is. If we can improve our defensive play, and I think that's happening, you know, I feel a bit more excited about the season than I did certainly 1 week ago.
Right.
I don't know about you, but yeah, that's the way I see it.
Probably don't share that level of excitement because I still, again, okay, yes, I don't want to focus too much on the first half, but boy, they were shrugging tackles way too easily. Yes, that did improve in the second half, and they just seem to be just treating our potential tackles with disdain, just sort of running. There was one instance here, I think, where it was Zach Jones just sort of, I think he ran through 6 players. I was like, what is going on here? So they were concerning signs. That's all.
Well, yeah.
So
they look, yeah, I think you're highlighting 1 or 2 moments and not looking at the bigger picture, to be honest with you. But yeah, okay, we agree to disagree. Next point, defensive structure still not right. Oh, but geez, you really are having a go. All right.
Well,
so I think we're seeing some improvement.
Oh no,
definitely,
yeah. And an incredibly exciting win, and I'd much rather that than just capitulating, as unfortunately did happen last season. So I don't mean to be ungrateful at all. Please don't come at me.
Well, they should and they will.
No. There'll be a couple that
normally
will agree.
me.
There'll be a
Can we talk about the old man on the ground on Saturday?
Goldstein.
Well, actually, he was the old man, wasn't he?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the second oldest man on the ground.
I bet it's not even
Dyson Heppell.
Yes.
I want to just...
30 possessions.
Doffs me hat.
Unheralded.
12 marks, I think. Dyson,
he did good.
we salute you.
We do.
That was a fantastic game of controlled, experienced football, and his link-up work. I mean, he had a couple of little clangers early in the game, and the whole team.
The whole team
off.
did. The whole team.
But as the game went on, he was just rock solid. And I tell you what, Dyson, if you keep playing like that, mate, you might be on for another year, because that was one of the best games I've seen Dyson Heppell play for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And
how valuable was he just having him down there in defence? And a lot of people at the start of the season saying, what a joke of a club when you give someone like that another year, the club's going nowhere. No,
he was good last year, right? He got an extension on his contract.
He was better than good last year. A lot of those games.
I think he's certainly just he's blossoming into that kind of nicely aged wine that just gets better as time passes. So well done to Dyson.
Now, I want to talk about probably a refreshing goal celebration.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
Of one Dursma. I quite liked it.
Yeah, the old bow and arrow.
Yeah, right on target.
Legolas.
Hitting the target. But apart from that goal, which was a very nice little kick there, just on the
sort of like a check side, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very nice on the run.
Yep.
Very good, but he laid some good tackles.
What are your thoughts on Xavier so far?
Well, perhaps he'd been a little quiet.
Yeah.
Quieter than what we'd like, but geez, he came in handy on the weekend.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people were saying when we traded him or traded for him, I think Zerk Thatcher went the other way, and those two will come together in the game coming up this week. But, Dursma showed a lot when he first started at Port Adelaide, and he kind of went off the boil. Injuries had a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a footballer there, and if he does stay fit, he's going to be fantastic for us. I've got some very good feelings about this team. It's always easy to feel good when you've had a win. I'll probably be pissing all over them if they lose against Port, but you never know. Hey, enjoy it while you can.
Let's enjoy. There were, a little things, again, tell me if I'm being picky, but Higgins, small forward for the Saints, kicked 4 goals last year. The number of times he was just roaming free in the countryside. Was he wearing fake glasses and a moustache? They didn't recognise him from last year.
I'm glad I don't live your life.
What's the strategy
with
the
misery
that?
today, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
I'm
I'm trying to be balanced, So we can be balanced when we lose, and be balanced.
Fair
when
enough.
We,
All right.
equanimity, my friend.
So he's a little.
Equanimity.
He's a quasi sewer rat, and
He is annoying.
you know,
he's another annoying small forward.
Small man syndrome
I
again.
don't know what it is.
They must
Why?
have a club, right? Him and
just
Papley and
get under my skin. They
all
get
those
together.
little guys.
I'm sure they get together.
Ginnivan and Cody Waitman.
Oh,
It's
there's
just,
another one.
there is something.
Just,
why don't we have that?
Why? Ours are nice.
We had
They're
Boris
all-
Buick, of
they're
course,
all
back in the
nice,
day, who was
yes.
as annoying as anything could be.
Yeah,
But
Alan Izard. Let's go right back to
Izard, yeah. But I think look, Higgins, he's a decent player. Let's not forget that for a minute. But in the end, scoreboard. Okay. Scoreboard.
Kicked another 3 goals.
Now, Nick Cox. Because I think
he
at
was
some stage he was playing on Higgins. I'm not sure how that works.
He did some good work in tight spaces.
Yeah, he does. He wriggles around and he just titillates when he does that. He just hits the spot.
But
beautifully.
Okay, we got that out of our system.
Not quite.
Have you got any more?
I mean, his
What?
impact on the game, it was like there was a field of Cox out there.
Right.
I suppose if you add up the number of men there was.
I was surprised by the stats.
Yeah.
18 disposals, same as Hobbs, who, I wouldn't, if you had asked me at the start of the game, would I have predicted that? No.
No.
He gets very busy.
He does.
He's had a good few weeks,
Yep,
Cox.
he's certainly been putting it away. Now, Ben Hobbs, I thought second half, fantastic. I was a little worried about Hobbsy because, he's just a bit borderline at the moment in that team. But his second half, him and Jai Caldwell, by the way, in the second half were both fantastic. And, Hobbs, I think he had sort of like 8 disposals or something like that in the last quarter. Maybe less, I can't remember. Do correct me. But his impact on the game was very real, as was Jai. So, look, there's a few guys missing from that side. Setterfield was, I think, really missed, and he's been in great form. He'll be back.
Yeah.
Dylan Shields still to come back. Not sure if Dylan's going to have the same impact as he once did, but I'm looking forward to seeing him back in the team. Of course, Jordan Ridley. King Jordan of Ridley.
Oh, cannot wait. How far away is he?
He could be back as early as next week. We'll see how that goes.
So he might be going to Adelaide.
Yeah, Matt Guelphy, who was very good against the Hawks. Let's not forget that.
Right.
So there's a few guys in the squad. We'll miss Durham. Durham's going to be out concussed this week.
Right.
What
about...
I think the guy that nailed him got suspended as well, which is good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So quite a bit to come into the side. It's going to be a difficult selection process because I don't know who you drop from this team apart from the injured players. So
now I want to talk about Nate Caddy. How's he going?
Nate Caddy, I tell you what, he looks like a Collingwood supporter now.
Oh no, what's happened?
He's missing a few front teeth.
What's happened?
Well,
who lined him up?
Well,
who from the
some
opposition?
dirty dog.
Yeah,
went back into a marking contest and took out our Nate.
Who was it?
Our golden boy.
Who was it?
Our great white hope.
Tell me. I'm gonna take him out.
Sam Wiedemann. The weed.
Collateral damage.
If he can't be there, he's taking everyone else out.
if he can't get, that's it.
The weed.
Why should you be happy?
Is on a mission.
Why?
Yeah.
Why should you? Kid?
Damn you.
Hey?
Damn
Why?
you. Because, Weed was taken with pick 5 or 6 or something in his year of the national draft, and Caddy was only picked 10, so he quite rightly feels he should be the golden boy. But good luck to the Weed. He's got a couple of teeth embedded in the back of his head after having knocked out our Wonder Boy and our Wunderkind.
If Nate Caddy ever goes missing, dental records in the back of Wiedemann's head.
If I was Harrison Jones, I'd be just keeping an eye out for a guy who resembles the Weed in dark alleyways.
Down at the hangar.
Because I think the Weed is going to take them all out. He's not happy. But no, Nate should be fine. I think you're not a real footballer if you haven't had your front teeth knocked out.
Sure.
So,
no, was it really both front teeth?
I don't know. It was both, but it's certainly one.
Oh,
I'm not sure. They just put him in a cup of milk and whip him down to the dentist.
Yeah, get a plug back in.
Straight back in. It's all good. I don't know how they do it.
it.
That's a miracle of science, isn't it?
It really is.
You know,
it really is.
Putting a tooth back.
Yeah, slapping
no
it
problem.
back on.
But
Nerve
Nate
may
Caddy,
not be
look,
working.
on that subject, I think the VFL team took an almighty hiding down at Sandringham.
Right.
And, there's got to be some questions asked about our VFL team because we are not giving those young guys the right kind of forum in which to develop their skills, because that side is so poor.
We've mentioned it here before,
we have,
that
yeah.
there's the lack of resources that have been dedicated. Is that still happening?
Oh, look, I think they're
changes?
addressing it. We're playing catch up, but right now that's not a place to be bringing young kids into the AFL system because it's just such a poor performing squad. But let's see.
The kids need to develop off Broadway before you hit Broadway.
They do.
They need a good theatre to work in.
Yeah, I mean, this is why in European football, soccer as some people call it, the whole loan system is a very good system, because you let the young kids go off to a better quality side to develop their talents before making it into the sort of top tier of the club that they're at.
Yes.
We don't have that in our game. I mean, I would rather see some of our young guys going and playing in the Waffle or the SANFL or something which has got at least some semblance of a decent competition, but the VFL is just rubbish.
Yeah.
So anyway, so overall, I'm really happy with the way we went, and looking forward to the coming week.
Now, how do you think we'll go against the Port Adelaide? They've gone down at home to the D's.
Yeah.
They'll be looking to bounce back. I noticed Zerk Thatcher. He's very prominent there in that defence.
They lost.
All right, geez, have it.
How prominent was he? Not prominent enough. We're coming for you, Brandon. We are coming for you.
Don't leave him.
And,
I've missed him.
No, I don't miss him.
No,
I know, he's dead to me.
You're just very dirty on anyone.
No, but Jay Gresham, I love him. I love anyone who comes to us. I love those traitors that come to us.
Because they've seen the light.
But when they go the other way, they're dead to me.
They've seen the light.
All
right, okay. Well, a big week awaits. I think it's a Friday night game.
That's part of the gather round. And, of course, we drew the home team. So
that's all right.
Yeah, but it's a test.
It is. And let's not forget what happened last time we played out at was it Marvel Stadium?
Last time we played them was at the MCG on that very wet night when
yes,
Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah, massive
kicked the
problem.
goal from 55 metres out.
Yes,
and broke the hearts of the Essendon faithful that night.
Did. And that was the start of the slide, was it not?
It was, and I think we owe them one. And
yes,
we lost 2 games to them last year by just a matter of points. So we're close to that team, and I'm hoping that this newfound grit, the edge, I hope the edge travels well and makes its way across to Adelaide. And we can show those stinking, rotten Port Adelaide, whatever they call themselves, power.
That would be nice.
Teach them a lesson.
That would be nice. I got a bit of a feeling.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. And, of course, we should also... I don't think I have anything else to say.
No, you don't.
No.
This is part of our TV review. Speaking of English football, have you seen that series, Welcome to Wrexham?
Oh, no, I haven't.
You haven't. It's about the club that Ryan Reynolds purchased for a song. Not a lot of dough. I think a couple of mil he splashed down. Yeah. And they're in the 5th division, I think.
I think they've gone up into the 4th now.
Yeah, well, don't spoil it, because I'm watching the second season and we don't really know what happens.
Sorry.
No, I haven't...
Yeah, I can tell you everything right now if you want.
Please don't.
Save you the
That'll
effort.
do. Anyway, it's not a bad little series. It's quite interesting. He's going to clean up.
When you're telling these stories, you should always say, hey, listen... Don't reveal anything. I'm only just starting.
I asked you about it, and you're like, "No, I haven't watched it." So I assumed you know nothing about it.
But I don't need to watch it. It's in the public domain. They're a football club that plays football. I know the outcome.
All right. Well, that's the last time.
Can I just say, on the subject of English football
review, but it's a good little series. Anyway.
I just want to also quickly add Ipswich Town on top of the championship as we speak.
Are they?
And I think they've got about 7 or 8 games to go. Could be back in the Premier League, which would be very exciting.
Would it?
Go, you Tractor Boys.
Right. Okay. All right. Okay. Only to then go back down the following year.
Maybe.
But that doesn't matter?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Okay. Once again, always appreciate your support for this channel.
We do.
Love all the comments. If you think I've been too harsh, let me have it.
Well, you're going to get it. By God, you're going to get it.
I'm okay with it. He's drinking the Kool-Aid big time this week, but certainly it makes for a very exciting gather round for the Bombers.
Yeah,
Thanks again for watching.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Cheers.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.